Welcome to the vlog. I wanted to start the vlog outside, but it is raining and I don't want my camera to get too wet, so we're gonna start it in the car. It is 8:45 right now, and Robert and I just drove from Chapel Hill to downtown Raleigh for a little late night date action. But basically our idea for this vlog is that we're just gonna spend this week getting away from my health issues, getting away from just like the things that were holding us back, and just focus on each other and having a really nice week of dates that we haven't been on dates in months. So we're starting with Bittersweet in Raleigh, which is our favorite late night dessert place. It is a bit of a drive, but it's 100% worth it. And then we're gonna do some other places as well in Chapel Hill and Durham. So we're gonna do the whole gambit of the triangle, and we're just gonna take you along with us on our adventures this week. I did my makeup, I even put on a dress, which I have not done in many months because of my health issues, which I have made many more other videos about. But basically it's been so long since I have put on a dress or looked nice that it took me so long to shave one leg that I ran out of hot water. And so I only got to shave one leg, but I was like, I'm still going for it. I'm still gonna wear my sundress, but it is pouring rain. And so I feel like my sundress is sort of out of place, but I still feel cute and I'm still gonna wear it. We brought no jackets, so we're gonna have to just like go through the rain. That was kind of a fail. They closed at 8 p.m. tonight because the bosses, like the people that run it, were getting married. So congratulations to them. I'm glad that they're getting married, but it means that we don't get to go to Bittersweet tonight, so we may go somewhere else. Robert is currently trying to find other places that are open that we could possibly go to at this time of night on a Sunday in downtown Raleigh. We are now searching for a place called the Whiskey Kitchen. I don't know anything about it, but Robert said it's gonna be open till midnight. I think that qualifies for our late night date situation. It's very like eerie and rainy, and we're just trying to find this place. Honestly, at this point, I'm glad that Bittersweet was closed because that place was awesome. It was freaking awesome. Robert and I were worried that it would be closed even though it said that it was open, but then when we got there, it was like packed and the only place we could sit was the bar. I got a cocktail that was just super well balanced, super delicious. It had elderflower in it and I really loved it. And then we also got our dessert. What did we get, Robert?
We got shoe fly pie with like a bourbon caramel and pecans.
It was so good. Like we demolished it in like 5 minutes. It was so good. Even though they only had 2 desserts to choose from, both of them looked delicious, and the one of the 2 that we got was fantastic. Yeah, we would definitely recommend this place for a late night cocktail, for a little dessert, or even, we haven't had dinner there yet, but I think sometime we will because all the food looked really good and everyone around us that was eating food seemed to be having a really good time, and it was just cool to see a place so happening at this time of night on a Sunday, which makes me think that it must be good. So we'll talk to you tomorrow or Tuesday when we go on our next little evening date. Put on a dress so I can show off my one shaved leg because I still haven't shaved the other one, of course. Don't got time for that. We are at Captain D's, which is a restaurant that Robert has nostalgic feelings about because he grew up eating there when he was in Florida, lived there, grew up there. I personally have never eaten here. The food looks weird to me. He's getting dinner in Captain D's, and then we're gonna go to Bittersweet in Raleigh and see if it's open and redeem ourselves from earlier in the week. Why are you eating outside, babe, on top of my car?
Because they don't have the dining room open.
What have you ordered at the Captain D's?
Well, I have 12 butterfly shrimp, a bunch of hush puppies, and some coleslaw.
All right, review Captain D's for the people.
Delicious as always.
So according to Robert, this restaurant is delicious. I've never tried it, so I guess just take that with a grain of salt, I guess. So unlike earlier in the week when we were in downtown Raleigh, it is very warm and just lovely and breezy out here. It's like, it's beautiful. I really hope Bittersweet is open. Too basic.
Oh man, there's more drinks.
Alrighty, so so we just got home from Bittersweet. I am sitting on the floor because I'm a little bit tipsy. It was really, really good as far as the cocktail goes. That cocktail, I think, was one of the best cocktails that I've ever had.
Yeah, go for it.
My mom I like it not really.
The sour sugar is amazing. Oh no, the bear fell in.
You drowned the bear?
I did. We'll get to the bear. And as soon as we got back home to the apartment, Robert started looking up the ingredients and trying to order it so that we can remake it on our own. That cocktail was just out of this world, and the sour sugar on the rim was unbelievable. So I loved the cocktail. Honestly, if they weren't so expensive, I would have just had a jillion of them, but obviously they're kind of expensive, so I just had the one. As far as the dessert, we did not realize when we ordered it how spiked it would be. We did have to show our IDs to order it, so that should have been a sign. Okay.
I'll find my
Is this a cocktail?
It tastes like pure alcohol. Whoa. Should I try gummy bear?
Yeah.
Or worm or whatever? The worms just taste very plain. I don't know.
Try a mushroom?
Okay. Oh, it's very hard. It's like very crunchy. It also tastes like alcohol. 100%. Okay, interesting. Everything just tasted super, super alcoholic. And also, it was not a pudding. The part with the dirt was actually a ganache. It was a super thick chocolate ganache that had been spiked with alcohol and had a lot of cream in it. So it was also just like a really, really heavy. It was still delicious. And, you know, after not really eating all day, I was down to eat it, but it was a lot and was very heavy. And yeah, I mean, we liked it, but we also felt like we would have maybe liked a different dessert better. Or, you know, if it was just like regular dirt and worms, it would have been better. It was definitely not one of the best desserts we've had from there. Their better desserts are definitely, and Robert and I agree on this, their fall and winter desserts are out of this world. Their spring and summer desserts do tend to be more hit and miss, which is I think what we experienced tonight. But anyway, that was our date at Bittersweet, and we will talk to you on our next date. For tonight's date, we are gonna go to downtown Durham, and we're gonna show you our 2 favorite places to get ice cream, which is one of our absolute favorite desserts. So we just got to downtown, and we parked in the parking deck behind us. There are quite a few parking decks downtown that you can park in. There's like 3 or 4, so it's pretty easy to find parking here. So we walked to a slightly different part of downtown after our ice cream and our sorbet, because Robert is getting drinks with one of his friends tonight at a bar called Surf Club. It's basically where he and this particular friend always go to get drinks, so it must be a good place. I guess we can plug it in this video as well.
Cheap and a dive, and we're both hipsters, so I mean.
So there you go. If you need like a dive hipster bar, go to Surf Club in Durham. As far as the ice cream, Simon Says Dip This and the Parlour are both very different, and we love them both. Simon Says Dip This definitely has the best vanilla soft serve. Just so thick, so creamy, can't find any faults with it.
The dips can be disappointing. We like the espresso and the dreamsicle, but they took the dreamsicle off the menu.
Yeah, I was very disappointed when they took the dreamsicle off the menu because that one was so good. It was like the citrus balance the vanilla ice cream so well. The espresso dip is really good because it has a balance of like the bitter from the coffee and also the sweet from the chocolate, so it's also delicious on the ice cream. Like, we haven't tried that many of the other dips because, like we said, they're really hit or miss. Like, we tried the raspberry ones and it was not good at all.
I tried cherry too and butterscotch.
Oh, cherry was horrendous. Don't get the cherry. It was so bad. Like, we could not eat it. But like I said, if you want like basically simple vanilla soft serve with like trying a dip, really good place. And they have They have cookies, they have candy, and they have little toppings you can put on the ice cream as well, so it can kind of be whatever you want to make it. As far as the Parlour, Robert is like a huge fan of the Parlour. He has been since we met.
And they have good normal flavors. Like they have really good caramels and chocolates and vanillas, but Lene doesn't like those. She always wants to do the weird flavors.
Well, I find that their like normal flavors are a little bit sweet for me, but their like different flavors are so good and unlike anything you can get at like any other ice cream place. Last summer they had a guava peppercorn that was amazing. In the winter they have peppermint stick, which is also insanely good. I think we went there as many times as we could in the winter just so that I could get peppermint stick. I even got them to make me a pint of peppermint stick once.
The highs are high and the lows are low. Because for every peppermint stick or guava peppercorn, we had mascarpone and olive oil tonight, and I had sweet corn blueberry with chunks of corn in it. They go places no one else does.
Yeah, the thing that I've never been disappointed by with the Parlour though is their sorbets. I don't know how they do it, but somehow they make these vegan sorbets that are incredibly creamy and just like fluffy. They're the best sorbets that I've had anywhere. The texture is unbelievable, and we had sorbets there tonight. So we had a blueberry lavender sorbet and a ginger grapefruit sorbet. Robert liked the blueberry lavender sorbet the most of the two. I would say I liked them both equally because I like bitter flavors, and the grapefruit ginger was definitely bitter. I think they probably used like grapefruit rind to flavor it, and that's why it was so bitter. But I've had a plum lime sorbet there before. I've had a peach and nectarine sorbet there before. I've had pineapple. Like their sorbets never disappoint. So if you want something non-dairy, or if you just want something lighter after, for instance, eating a ton of ice cream at Simon Says Dip This, it's a great place to go. And Robert loves their ice cream, so like you can't really go wrong with the Parlour at all. There's something for everyone.
If you try both, leave a like in the comments which one you prefer.
Definitely. And so we're gonna walk the rest of the way to Surf Club, and then I'm gonna head home, and Robert is gonna have drinks there with his friend. So, I know this vlog is supposed to be like a positive, happy date vlog, and it is. We're having a good time. But right now, I'm kind of freaking out because I walked back to the parking deck that we had parked in, and basically I can't get my car out. I just can't get it out the way that it's parked, the way people around me are parked. I can't get out. So I'm gonna have to just hope that people leave and go hang out with Robert until later on in the night, and then come back and see if I can retrieve my car. Part of why I'm so flustered by like not being able to get out of this parking deck is, and I think a lot of you guys know this, but I haven't actually made a video about it. I have a lot of anxiety about parking decks. I once had a very traumatic situation happen in a parking deck. My car basically wasn't in park when I was very young and just learning to drive, and my car fell down the parking deck. It was a huge disaster. So usually when we go downtown to these type of dates, Robert will drive because parking in parking decks like just makes me so anxious, and I knew tonight like I might get anxious, and here we are, very anxious. So yeah, I'm gonna go down and hang out with Robert, I guess, at Surf Club. So it's getting dark and it's starting to rain, which is very bothersome. I had to stop at the bodega to get some water because the water at Surf Club can be a little hit or miss. Sometimes it tastes good and sometimes it tastes like dirt, honestly. So if I don't bring my own water to Surf Club, sometimes I end up being really dehydrated when I go there, and I already feel dehydrated and I hate being dehydrated, so I just needed some water. So I got that. It's in like a bag, which I'm holding, and I'm just walking to Surf Club. My literal whole body is shaking with anxiety because if the people that are parked next to me don't leave and like go home by the time we're done at Surf Club, I won't be able to go home. So that'll be a whole thing. So we shall see. Alrighty, so we are in the park right now that I walked through before. I told Robert it was a quicker shortcut, so he's here with me. It's like 10:15, almost 10:30. Well, it's 10:15. And we were just hanging out with Robert's friend at Surf Club, and it actually never ended up raining, even though it was sprinkling on my way there, so that was really nice. And it was a good time. I only drank water because I didn't want to drink any alcohol. But yeah, it was still super fun. So anyway, we're going to go see if my car is able to be moved. I'll let you know. I don't know, I'm gonna hold it. You know, I don't like peeing in foreign bathrooms. This is Durham at night, y'all. Pretty quiet on a, what is this, Tuesday? Tuesday night?
Turning up on a Tuesday.
Oh dear God.
That's the girl in the club because she ain't choosing.
Well, Robert just finished sneak peeing at the Marriott on our way back because he didn't want to use the bathrooms at Surf Club. So apparently the bathrooms at Surf Club are
I mean, they're all right, but they're just covered with like stuff like follow me at Matt Poops here to see where I'm pooping. Like, you know, there's a guy that's like at Matt Poops here. There's weird stuff going on in those bathrooms.
Okay, so maybe don't use the bathrooms at Surf Club.
No, the bathrooms are all right. They're reasonably clean.
Well, you wouldn't use it.
I don't know. I also just like using the Marriott bathroom. It feels fancy.
Well, Robert wanted to feel fancy, so he peed at the Marriott.
It's on the way back.
We're almost back to our car.
Right, we got like full forward the background.
So we're walking up to my car right now. And of course, mine is the only one that's backed in, which is why I had my issues. But it looks like, that's a fancy car. It looks like everyone that was next to me has moved, so we should be all good. So yeah, I'm back at my car. We waited long enough, thankfully, so there's no one next to me. I can just easily pull out and go home, and I will see Robert at home. I will talk to you guys whenever our next date is. It may be.
So in keeping with our late night date night theme, every night Linnea and I go to Trader Joe's and we walk this very nice nature path, you know, to pick up groceries for a lazy night in. Other times we go to Wegman's, which we'll show you later, because, you know, it's a great place to pick up some really high-end, nice charcuterie type stuff, and to just grab an easy takeout bite before spending a romantic night together. So Linnea, I gotta ask, what scares you most about summers in North Carolina?
Ticks. I hate looking at all this tall grass, just makes me nervous. And I'm feeling a little nervous because you were standing in the tall grass to get a shot of that blue thing, and now I feel like I'm gonna have to like tick check you when we freaking get home.
Oh geez, I guess you have to check me for ticks.
Shut up, just your legs.
Good enough.
Sometimes we do stop at that Starbucks and get some coffee when we come here. There's also a clean juice place, but we've never been there. And then like later on in this complex, there is a Birkenstock store, which is pretty cool. So we're about to go into the Trader Joe's, but I wanted to point out that this Brugger's Bagels that we're in front of right here is the Brugger's Bagels that I grew up going to as a kid. And for many, many years of my life, it was the only Brugger's Bagels that I ever went to because we lived in Mebane and Chapel Hill was the closest place to get bagels. And I think the only time that I went to a different Brugger's was when I was in college, and then I went to the one in Raleigh that was near NC State. Yeah, I always feel very nostalgic when I walk by this Brugger's Bagel. But anyway, we're gonna go into Trader Joe's now. They have all these signs all over the store that there's no filming allowed at all, so we're not gonna film inside there unfortunately, but we can film inside the Wegmans later, so just save yourselves for that. So I'm the one driving, even though I don't normally drive at night, because Robert has requested to be chauffeured to Weggies. So here we go. So we have arrived at our neighborhood Wegmans, which is so nice, and we're ready to explore and get dinner because we're both really, really hungry.
I was here for lunch, hoping they'd have the black truffle pizza. They did not.
You were already here for lunch today?
I grabbed a pepperoni slice and a garlic slice. Please?
Yes, we can get it. But you're gonna have to get bread to go with it.
Please?
Not today.
Bread.
Yeah, that's what we bought last time we did fondue. I was actually looking for a different type of sushi. I was planning on it all day that I was gonna get the plain avocado and rice roll, which I get every single time, but they didn't have it, so I got the spicy salmon and the regular salmon roll, and they were actually super, super delicious. So I'm glad that I branched out and tried something new. And then Robert went to the Burger Bar, which is like a little restaurant inside of Wegmans, and tell us about that, Robert.
Nice. That was really good. However, I wasn't accosted by a Burger Bar evangelist this time.
The last time that we were here, Robert and I were gonna go to the Burger Bar together, and there was this woman that just like accosted both of us and just wouldn't stop talking about how great the Burger Bar was, and it was so intense that like we had to like make up a medical emergency to leave because she wouldn't stop talking to us, and we ended up having to eat our like Burger Bar dinner at home. So glad that she wasn't there this time. Anyway, we're gonna go home, and what I like most about this date, besides the fact that it's just really casual and laid back, is that we can do it earlier in the day. So it's like probably 7:30 right now. We can go home and also have our cozy night at home in our pajamas watching some TV or something. So you kind of get the best of both worlds with this date. This is the bread that we bought that is actually Wegmans brand. And then the cheese just melts like super easily. This took like 5 minutes. And this is actually not Wegman's brand, but it's really good. It's very tasty.
No cheese, the cheese is so thick. Do we have skewers?
Why would we have fondue skewers in our apartment?
Because we really like fondue.
Is it good, baby?
Yeah.
So I'm having some fondue as well. It is very good. And so I guess this is our little romantic dessert. We're having a very good time. So right now we are at University Mall. It's around 5:30, so like right after work. We just basically drove here. It's actually closer to 6 because I got off work later than normal, unfortunately. So Robert is like power walking because he's going to be late for the movie. We are going to see Multiverse of Madness at Silverspot, and then we are also going to get dinner at Asian Hawkers, which is our favorite restaurant in this general vicinity. And so yeah, that's the plan. I think Robert is annoyed that I'm standing still right now. He's very stressed. Anyway, we're going to Asian Hawkers and we will talk to you later on.
Anyways, Linnea and I are going to Hawker's Asian Street Food for dinner.
So this restaurant was amazing. I think it's my favorite restaurant that I've been to in a while. I literally feel like I want to live in this restaurant. It's so freaking good. And Robert's meal came out first, and it was so good that I wanted to like steal it. But then my meal came out, and my meal was so good, and it was so exactly what I wanted, like the perfect amount of spice, and the shrimp was cooked perfectly, and there were so many noodles. And so then I couldn't really be jealous of him because my meal was so freaking good.
If you're not in the mood for Asian food, there's also the Flying Biscuit Cafe, Bar Taco, they got great tequila and drinks, and Silverspot Movie Theater, which is a dine-in movie theater.
So we just left Asian Hawkers, and now we're going into Silverspot to see this movie.
You know what a producer does, Mr. Ruddy? They do whatever it takes to get their movie made. What makes you think that you're qualified to do that?
My name is Albert Ruddy.
You excited, Robert?
Oscar, the producer.
He is profoundly excited. The whole time we were at the restaurant, what were you doing? Looking at the clock?
Yes.
So we are back home. It's like 9:30ish. I thought the movie would go longer, honestly. It didn't go as long as I thought that it would go. I'm not going to give any spoilers, of course, but I will say I did not love it. And that's all I'm going to say. Robert also wasn't the hugest fan of it. But just, yeah, that's our opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. I'm really tired because this week, though it was fun, was a lot more getting out of the house than I've had in a really long time due to my health. So like I am freaking exhausted and I have to work tomorrow just for the morning. So I'm just gonna spend the rest of the night resting. But thank you for watching our week of dates, and we're gonna try to do a lot more fun videos like this coming up in the future. So my channel is not gonna be all just like depressing health videos. We're gonna do a lot more fun stuff. So stay tuned for all of that. Robert and I have been brainstorming a lot of ideas, and we'll see you in the next vlog.